Hey guys, my name's Jake, and welcome to Tuesday, July 22nd, Killer Sudoku. So let's dive right in. We have a 3 out of 10 puzzle here. We instantly know that 3 is going to add to 1, 2. And if you guys didn't know the 45 rule, this entire box has to add to 45. And so we know the sums of these 3 cages, which is 41. So therefore this has to be a 4, and 4, 9 is the only combination here. We can instantly remove 1, 2, and 4, which leaves you with a 3, 6. And what I see here is that every row also has to add to 45. So these all have to add to 90, which means we're 7 here. We're 7 under here. So you either get a 1, 6 or, 1, 6, 2, 5, or 3, 4. But there's no 5, so we can eliminate the 2. And so that means that's 1 and 6. You can see we're doing really well. Remove the 6, and then that has to be a 2 there. So we get a 9 here or here. And then we can just mark 5, 7, 8. And we'll keep a note that there are 9s here and here. So now let's look at the other places that we're under here. We're at 14 and 3. And we can remove the 2, 3, and 4 here. So you know this has to have a 1 in it, which goes somewhere. Not here, because that can't have a 1. That could have a 6, or that could have a 1 there. And you're left with 5, 8, or 6, 7. And over here, we are under by about 22 and 3, which is going to have a 9 in it there. 9 in it. This is 8, 9 here. That can't be a 9 there, so that must be 8, and then that must be 9, which will remove the 9s there. And now we are going to look at 5, 8, or 6, 7 here. And what we have here is 9 can't go here. So that's a 7. Nope. That's a 7 or an 8, but our 8s are removed here. So your 7s are removed here. And we're left with 8, 9, which means that can only be a 5. Going back to here, this was 14 and 3. And we were left with those possible combinations. And we can remove 5, 8 there. So that's 1, 6, 7. Which means only 6, 7 can go here. So we know that combination. And then 7's removed, 6 is removed from there. 7, which means this is a 1, 6 cage here. And so now, the question is, can this have 6 here? So if this were to have 6, there's only one combination that can have a 6, and that's 1, 2, 4. But if this were to be 1, because 1 is eliminated here, then where does the 2 go? So now we know that can't be a 6. That's a 1, and then that's a 6 there. And now let's take a look at some other boxes here. Remove 1, 6, and 7 from these combinations. So we know it has to have a 2 in it. Remove 1, 2, 6, and 7. And you know this has to have a 5 in it. And now removing 5 here. This also has to have a 2 in it. And then removing 8, 9, and 5 here. 5 here. You know this has to have a 7 in it, because all the combinations, 7 is removed there, so we can place a 7. And then that's 1, 6, which would go 6, 1, or 3, 4, because of that 1 there. And now, you know, this has to have a 5 in it. So we're left with 1, 2, 6, which is not possible, because if this were to be 1, 2, 6, then 1 would go here, and where would the 6 go? So we now know it's a 2, 3, 4 with the 5 there. 3 eliminates there. And now that is going to be a 2 and a 4. And I feel like we have some more stuff here. So we're left with 2, 3, 7. So your 2 would go here. If this were to be 1, 2, 3, 7, your 2 would have to go here. 3 and 7 is eliminated there. And 2, 4, and 6 and 4 is fine, but 4 actually can't go here. So 6, so you'd be left with a 6, a 4, and then a 2 here, which is not possible. So it has to be a 4, which cannot go here. So 4 goes here, and you are left with a 3, 5. 3 can't go there. So now we can eliminate the 5 there. You're left with a 2, 4. And so now we see this guy sticking out. So we can do this, plus 8, plus 9, which is plus 17. So we're at plus 34, plus 44, plus 6, which is 50. And so now that has to be a 5. Let me double check that I got that right. 27 plus 17, which is 44 plus 6, which we are at 60. Or 44 plus 6 is 50. So 50 minus 45 is going to be our 5 there. So 5s are removed. We have a 7-8 combo, which removes 7, 8, and 9. Your 5s are now placed here. And now 5s are removed from that box already. We're left with a 5, and then it's 3, 9, or 4, 8. Your 9s are moved, so now that has to be 4, 8 there. That removes 4, and I believe 3, because that had to add to 7 there. Your 7 is here, so we remove 7 and 8. And now we can remove 1, 2, 6, or 3, 4. That can no longer be 2, 4, 8. That's a 9, 2, 9, and 3. 2, 9, and 3. So we're left with a 2, 3, 1, 3. So now, okay, 1, 6, 3 there. And then this has to be 1 or 4. This has to be 1 or 4. Okay, not much help there. We do know the value of this, plus 10, plus 8, plus 18. We're at a 41, so that has to be 4. That has to be 7 there, which means we're left with a 1, 5. So you can remove the 1 and the 6 from here, which leaves you with 2, 1, and 6. So that's a 1 and a 6, and then that's a 2. Sorry about that. Remove the 2 here. That gives you 3. Let's take a quick check. We're doing very nice. Okay, so we need a 9 in this box. 9 goes away, and you're left with 2 and a 6, it looks like. So 6 is removed from there, 1's removed from there, 4 is removed from there, 8's removed from there. And now 2, 6 is gone, 1, 7 is gone, so that's left with 3 and 5 there. But your 3 is up here, so your 5 has to go here, and your 3 has to go here. 3 and 9 is eliminated now. We do know the sum of this plus 11 is 36, so this has to be a 9. This has to be a 2. And now 5 and 1 go there because of the 5 there. And I'm looking, can we eliminate any 2s, 4s, or 6s here? We cannot. 7 has to go here or here somewhere. We do need a 1, which goes here and here. And then we also need a 6, which should go here. 1, 7, 6, and then we're also missing an 8. So 8 and 7, and so now we know that's a 6, that's a 1. We can remove the 1, 6, which leaves a 7, 8. And then now the only possible digits left are 2 and 6, but we do have a 6 here, so now that has to be 2, that has to be 6, that has to be 2, that has to be 4, and that has to be 2. And then 8 is eliminated from that box, so that does leave a 7 there. And now what can we eliminate here? We can eliminate 6s, so 6s and 7s are gone, so 4, 8, or 5, 9. So we're left with a 4, 8, or a 5, 9 here. But 5s are gone from there, so that's a 4, 9. We know that's a 9, then that's a 4. And we can eliminate 4s, 7s, 1, 8, or 3, 6. 8s are both eliminated here, so this has to be a 3, 6, which leaves you with 3 and 6. Now we know this box plus 7 is going to be a 33, so this has to add up to 12. So the combinations of 12, 3, 9 is eliminated. We're left with 4, 8, 4, 8, 5, 7. So this has to be 4, 8. 8 goes there, 4 goes there. Quick check to make sure I didn't mess anything up. Okay, 4, 8, so now we know our 1's here because of that. Our 2's go up here, 3, 4, 5's go here, and then you're left with 6, which leaves you with a 2 and a 9 there. 4, 8's 12, so we need another 8, 1, 7, 2, 6, or 3, 5, so now that has to be a 1, 7, which makes 1, 7, 7, 8, and then now what are we left with? We're left with a 1 here somewhere. 1's must go there. And now our 2's are left there and there and there. So 2's go here. Just doing some normal Sudoku here. This plus 13 is going to add a 31, so this has to be 14, which is 5, 9, or 6, 8. So now that has to be 6 and 8, because that 5, 9 there. 6, 8 adds to 14, so again, we're left with an 8, 1, 7, 2, 6, or 3, 5. It's the only possible combination, 5 and 3. And then we're left with 2 and 9, but a 9 can't go here. So that has to be a 2, that has to be a 9, that has to be a 2. And now we need our 3s, which go here. Our 1, 2, 3, 4s, which go here. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. And your 9 is left there. 1, your 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s. So we're left with 6, 7, 8. Your 7's there because of those two. Your 6 is here. And your 8 is there. And that's the puzzle for today.